And let's bring you the latest in the world of sports. Started off first in South Africa, but he is a Nigerian. Super Eagles goalkeeper Daniel Akpeyi could be on his way out of his South African club, Kaizer Chiefs. With the latest news coming out of the club, the Nigerian goalkeeper, who was a regular for the South African club before going to the Africa Cup of Nations, is yet to play a single game since returning. Daniel Akpeyi has not been named on the bench or even made the squad since returning from AFCON. And coach Baxter Stott mentioned fitness as a reason for his absence in the lineup. Kaizer Matong Jr. said that his main objective was to reduce the average age of the squad and also clean the house, given that the approach applied over the last 7 years hasn't worked. Daniel Akpeyi, by the way, is 35 years of age, and that tells us that he might as well be on his way out of Kaizer Chiefs anytime soon because of his age. Recall that the club is saying that they need to clean house, probably bring in more youthful, more agile players who will definitely join the team. All the way from that story now, let's bring you something from Chelsea this time and tell you that Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich will receive bids to sell the club this week, with at least 3 parties circling the Stamford Bridge club in the belief the Russian billionaire for the first time will consider a sale. The 55-year-old Russian oligarch is under the spotlight due to the alleged ties to President Vladimir Putin. US President Joe Biden vowed that the West would seize everything that belongs to Russian oligarchs, including their apartments. Abramovich has strongly denied any links to the Russian president, but calls for his sanction keeps getting louder and louder and louder. Recently, there was a video where the coach of Chelsea was indeed asked what he thinks about the war, and he had to stop the reporters, telling them, stop talking about this. I do not want to talk about the war. I am more privileged here because I am not facing that situation. I feel for them, but please do not ask me any of these questions going further. And that's exactly what he said. Aside that, do recall that Chelsea do have African players who play for them as well. I'm talking about players such as Ziyech, who also is an embattled player with Algeria. Plus, you do have the Senegalese champion who just came back home with the African Cup of Nations, and I'm also talking about the one known as Edouard Mendy. Then you have other African players with African roots, although they play for France and Belgium. Talking about Romelu Lukaku, who's got DR Congo in his blood. And not forgetting to the man known as N'Golo Kante, who also has the Malian blood in him, where his parents moved to Mali in 1980. So African players also will be having questions to ask, because when you move to a brand new club or a club actually changes its position in terms of management, it usually affects the management style, and these African players might start to have a rethink on their position. But let me quickly bring to you this time the FA Cup. Yes, the results, games were played yesterday, and I can tell you that it was Leicester City. First of all, the EPL. Let's start with the EPL first. Leicester City beating Burnley by 2-0. Great game. Jamie Vardy had a return, and I think that spurred them to victory. Hopefully, he wouldn't get injured anytime soon again. But let's move on to the FA Cup 2. And these are the results. Quite shocking, especially. I'm starting from the bottom up. Middlesbrough beat Tottenham Hotspur. Recall the same Middlesbrough also beat Manchester United. And that young lad who scored the goal came out to say, I have beaten beaten Harry Kane and Cristiano Ronaldo back to back. Well, Middlesbrough, you can have it. It's your time. Crystal Palace actually escaped, yes, 2-1, beating Stoke City. And of course, you had Peterborough United losing to Manchester City, who are definitely on fire, thanks to Pep Guardiola, 2-0, where the players are indeed hot on the heels. Let's check out results, fixtures, I beg your pardon, that will be going down today. Still in the world of sports, Luton Town will be playing Chelsea in the FA Cup. Chelsea just came out of the finals of the Carabao, where they lost to Liverpool. Southampton will take on West Ham United. Liverpool will be playing Norwich City. That's another game to look out for. For me, that will be the match for today.